That doesn't look too good. Let's see here. Sorry about that. That damn camera, man, always looks a little blurry coming in. Okay. All right. I guess that's a little better. Boom, boom, bam. Welcome back to another edition of The Great Debate Show with your favorite Uncle JJ. And as always, I got something to say. All right, what do I have to say today? Well, I always have something to say weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. And today is no different. Hope everybody's enjoying their day. Their Independence Day, if you celebrate it. If not, it's all good too. Kick it with me right now. Here at the Great Debate Show, I just got a few things to talk about. Not a lot today. We finally have cooled down with all the NBA free agency talk. I think all of that has kind of calmed down and settled down. A few things that I predicted to happen with the LA Lakers has happened. So I want to discuss that for a minute and basically just, ask you all, who do you think won the NBA offseason so far if LeBron and Giannis Antetokounmpo are not traded and they end up staying with their teams, with their current teams right now. And since it's Independence Day, who do you think wants more independence from their team, Giannis or LeBron? Who kind of wants to get away the most? LeBron has put out there that he still wants to win a championship, even though he understands the Lakers' future and what they're trying to do. And then you've got Giannis, who's kind of wishy-washy, back and forth on should he stay in Milwaukee or not. Giannis hadn't came out publicly and said a thing. LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, has came out and said a lot, which has the whole, NBA reeling right now because they're actually wondering, can they kick the tires? The Mavs have came out and said they wouldn't do anything with LeBron trade-wise, but they would do a buyout. I don't know why the Lakers would buy LeBron out. I mean, I think that they are ready for that contract to expire. They didn't talk negotiations for an extension and all that, but I still can't see them just saying, you know what the hell? Let's buy him out. It's $53 million, damn near. I don't see them doing that and get nothing out of it at all. I just can't see it unless they have something else up their sleeves. I don't really know what that could be after they just have bought out LeBron James and all of that money. So the Mavs are just kind of putting it out there, stop talking about it. We would only get it if it was a buyout. And then they probably would also wonder if that would hurt the development of Cooper Flag, the rookie. So anyway, who do you think wants more independence from their team right now? Giannis or LeBron as far as just getting away, and moving on? I still wouldn't mind seeing Giannis in San Antonio. And there are reports that I know Golden State Warriors haven't done a damn thing, but they still could win this whole offseason if they can land Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Dame is somebody that they could also bring in March or April since he's recovering from an Achilles injury. Do you think Giannis will change his mind? I don't think the Bucks have done enough to make him say, I'll stay. So even though the Bucks haven't done much, even though there's the Knicks haven't done a thing, there are teams out there that hadn't done a thing that could still get Giannis and probably beat everybody else in the offseason. Right now, the Rockets have the lead. I think the Denver Nuggets is kind of right behind them in what they've done. And we know the Mavs getting that #1 pick, period. They're a top 5 seed in the West. Maybe not from September to January, but they will be from February to June, in my opinion, and that's all that matters. So I want to say hello to everybody. The Great Debate Show, again, is available wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, review, follow. That's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and all of that. And I do this live weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on TikTok and YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter. Follow The Great Debate Show on Facebook also. A lot of great debates on Facebook and Twitter, X, throughout the week. Whether it's in a poll or whatever. Otani and Judge. Surprisingly, Judge won that poll that I had out a few days ago on TikTok. Incredible. Like 70% of the people voted Judge. I know he's a good hitter, but Otani can hit and pitch. And I just think being that phenomenal two-way player is pretty impressive, in my opinion. Judge is good, but he's inconsistent. Like sometimes he's on a streak and then sometimes he's in a slump. I guess that is baseball, but Otani just gives you the best of both worlds. Anyway, those debates are all up on the page if you want to go back and check it out, whether it's Otani and Judge, whether it's top 5 quarterbacks of all time, point guards of all time. We even did sneakers. Like, what was the best sneaker minus the Jordans in the 90s? We had Grant Hills, Allen Iversons, the Penny Hardaways. It's all kind of shoes were on that list. And people actually, we had over hundreds of comments. So check those out. It's just a little fun that we do during the week. I want to say grand rising, kings and queens, to everybody that's joining me right now. I'm going to talk a little bit football today. AFC South, NFC South. We did the North yesterday a little bit. I'm not making a lot of bold predictions yet. I'll wait till we get to training camp. I usually wait around the end of August, Labor Day weekend, before I actually make my predictions. Because a few things could still happen. People could get cut. People could get added. There's still a lot more adding and subtraction that could go on between now and then. But Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers, it was just something we had to talk about. Same thing as for Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart, the first-round pick in Cincinnati. Are the Bengals going to have those guys in camp? That's all the difference in the world to if the Bengals are still kind of like at 3, or if they bump up to 2 or possibly 1 in the AFC North. So, doing the South right now in both conferences, and we said the NFC North is the best conference in football. It was last year, which I predicted that back in late August. This is why y'all got to subscribe and follow the Great Debate Show. I said that. I even went as far as having the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I got that wrong completely, but injuries played a part to Detroit. Baltimore just, they're facing the same problem that Buffalo and other teams do in the AFC, getting past the Chiefs. So, as of now, I still think Baltimore wins the North. I still think the Lions win the North as well in the NFC. And surprisingly, I didn't move the Bears yet, because I just can't see the Packers and the Vikings slipping far enough for the Bears to, surpass them. I hope I'm wrong, too, because I like Ben Johnson, and I hope Caleb Williams works out, but I'm just not completely sold on him yet. They put some stuff around him last year, too. But now that the coaching is also there, we'll see how that goes. But what do y'all think about Caleb Williams? Do they stay the same, or does he actually progress and they can jump? They can jump. Maybe they can jump over Green Bay or Minnesota. That's all I know. I mean, and the only way Minnesota slides is if J.J. McCarthy can't elevate the Vikings, which I'm not sure about. What's up to Vince's Gaming in the building, who says hi? Heck, the worker in the building says hi. UFC schedule is the best. There's always action. Okay. Cowboys. What about the Cowboys, Heck? What's up to Big Jake in the building? Iceman Slim. He likes what I'm talking. NFC South. Bucks, AFC South, Texans. Okay, he got it. He says the Bucks win the NFC South, the Texans win the AFC South. Basically, he's saying not a damn thing is gonna change. Big Jake in the building. What's up? Says Telemoose. Kobe, bang, bang. What's up with you, Kobe? Bang, bang. Niner Faithful in the building. Big Money Dodge. Thank you, brother. Thank all y'all kings and queens for joining me today on a Friday, Independence Day. Niners Faithful, bang, bang. Lil Bear in the building. Knicks hired Mike Brown. They not winning a chip. Well, some people think so. Their odds went up a lot. They were like the second best. They had the second best odds in the Eastern Conference. Now they have the second best odds to go to the finals, period. Not just in the East. They're right behind OKC now. So I don't know. The sports books seem to think a little bit different. How did y'all feel about the Mike Brown trade? Was it an upgrade? Was it the same? Or was it a little worse than what they had already in Thebes? We got, let's see here. Blotto plus something. Diab. I can't read that. I'm sorry. 247 says, I think Giannis wants to win another. I see him leaving to the Spurs, to be honest. Exactly what I just said about 2 or 3 minutes ago. It very well could happen. Very well could happen. And they still could have spacing on the floor if Giannis goes to San Antonio, because Wemby provides that. He can shoot. Giannis can't shoot. So he needs to stay in the front court, stay by the rim, protect it, score at it, and do what he does. but he can't shoot. That's why I've never been a fan of him. Like, he can't really shoot, and he takes way too damn long to shoot free throws. But if you put him with Wemby, man, what a twin towers. It's not David Robinson and Tim Duncan, but in this league, in this era right now, in this generation of basketball, it's the best you're going to get or the closest to that. It would be great for the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, Giannis, the other guy, I can't say his name. They got some young talent. They got what it takes in the draft capital to get him, and they could give Milwaukee something back in return to feel like, okay, the rebuild is starting now. So I think that the Spurs getting Giannis is very, very, very possible still. He said he's waiting to August or September before he tells everybody what he's going to do. Kind of acting like LeBron a little bit in 2010 on where he's going to take his talents to. But I still think that he's going to leave. I don't know why he wants to take that long, but I think he's going to leave. And there's going to be a few teams that have already considered themselves done as far as reshaping their roster and putting it where they want it or where they think it needs to be a championship contender, or at least just progress and be better than what they were in the previous season. They still may find themselves having to blow some of that up if Giannis says, I want to come play for y'all. What if he says he wants to come to Houston? You know? Even though Houston is leading the pack right now as far as off-season moves, because they didn't have to give up as much, in my opinion, to land KD. They extended Jabari Smith, but what if Giannis says, I want to come there. I want KD to stay, but whatever else you got to do. What if Amen Thompson becomes expendable then? You know, what if they say, all right, it was good to have you, Clint Capella. Glad you came back, but go over there. I don't know. You know, I don't know what the picks they got, but I'm just saying, I think that if he was smart, he would want to go to San Antonio or Golden State. But what if he wants to go somewhere where some of these teams have already kind of reshaped their roster? So I don't know, man. I think Wemby and Giannis could still be good. Probably not as much spacing as KD would have been, but this is still good. Boy, this would be really good. Do you think DeAndre Ayton was a good pickup for the Lakers? It was a great pickup. That's why they made sure they made it happen. The league, that is. That's why they told Portland, hey, go ahead and do the buyout. The Lakers ain't got no assets. They can't draft nobody. I mean, they can't trade for anybody. They don't have the money, the capital. LeBron stayed his ass here. Go ahead and just get rid of him, buy him out so he can sign freely with the Lakers. All right, done deal. And that's what it was. It was no different from when the league told Nico Harrison, trade Luka to LA. We'll explain later. And then he got the draft lottery pick in return of that favor, and there it is. You can't say the lottery pick was rigged, but nothing else is. All of the shit is rigged, if you want to be real. But it's entertaining at times. The game, if you love the game, sometimes it's still hard to get away from it. Because we know that they do play the game, and injuries and things like that occur, if you see it happen, then it's real. But everything isn't. Everything that they do in the NBA is systematically designed to keep the ratings up, to keep you watching, and to keep the star talent, the star power in the big market areas. You know, Ayton in Portland just don't sound right for the NBA, so send them to LA. Karl Anthony Towns is cool, but Minnesota? Nah, let's get him in New York. Drew Holiday is in Portland, but then he got bought out, and now he signs with the Celtics for a little bit of nothing. It's just all the nostalgia. It's keeping all this stuff together, and you know, like not everybody can do it like OKC. And now that OKC, a small market team, has won, what are they doing? They're trying to come up with ways to where, hey, you got to pay this guy this much. He has to play this max, because like they're getting punished for drafting well and developing their talent. It's crazy, but that's what's happening. So where teams can do like OKC, everybody is not able to keep and pay all their players. Will the Thunder be able to pay shit and J-Dub when it's time? That's going to be the key. And that's why I think owners are kind of starting to say, I'm done. I'm selling. I'm not tired of paying those luxury taxes. Okay, what's up to Reggie White in the building? Says tighten up. I'm about to talk AFC South right now, as a matter of fact. Let's get into that. I just wanted to answer a few questions. People are feeling real Giannis to San Antonio-ish today, and I don't blame them. I want to say one more thing to Diablo 247, whatever that says. He asked me about Ayton being a good pick to the Lakers. It was a good pick, and not only that, you did the other thing that I said they needed to do. I said they needed a starting big and a backup big, and somewhere around yesterday or this morning, they brought back Jackson Hayes, who was a free agent too, who so happened to still just float out there and not sign anywhere. He's back too. So now you've got your starting big and your backup big, and the Lakers sound like they're going to be on their way. And they went from like the 6th best team in the Western Conference, the odds, I mean, to win the West, to the 4th best odds to win the West now. And that kind of sounds about right. I was saying yesterday, they may not be better than the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Rockets, of course, or the Mavs. I don't know about the Wolves either, but they have leapfrogged now from 6 to 4, I believe. Or is it 3? 4. They've got the 4th best odds now to win the West, and that could be right. We'll see. We will find out. What's up, the Roundtree in the building? Kari in the building? How y'all doing? Midwest, still DRE. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you, man. If y'all could like the live and share the live stream, and also, if you would, follow. Very appreciative if you do so. It helps us out here in the algorithm for people to find the Great Debate Show. And I'm here weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And even if I'm not here live, a video will be uploaded. But in order for you to catch that video, you have to subscribe, YouTube. You have to subscribe. I want to thank y'all for hitting that like button. What are y'all doing today? Y'all not going to invite Unc to the barbecue today? What's up? I thought I was your favorite Unc. I like baked beans and coleslaw. Y'all gonna treat me like Kirk Cousins and treat me like the 3rd cousin instead of your favorite Unc? Is it like that? What's up, Ryan? He says the New York Giants will win the NFC East. Wow. Do you really believe that, Ryan, or are you just pulling my leg? He said it's Independence Day. What the hell? I got you. Hello to Noah. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all. So here we are. Let's start with the AFC South. And I say let's start with the AFC South because it's been the same damn thing every damn year. Houston, Houston, Houston. At one point before Houston arrived, it was Jacksonville, and maybe Tennessee every now and then. The Colts ain't got a piece of the pie yet. What's up with that? They hadn't got a piece of the pie yet. So I just talked about the Colts and the Texans, Jaguars, and Titans. Who's going to win now? Cam Ward was the #1 pick in the draft. A lot of people said, how was he recruited so much now? I mean, he wasn't heavily recruited coming out of high school, going into college. 0-star recruits. Unheard of. And now he's a #1 pick. So some people thought, he ain't all that. He's not generational talent. He's not going to really move the needle. The Titans should probably just go get that 2-way player, Travis Hunter. And my brother's a Titan fan. He also thought that they should go get that all-around player. And I told him, man, I don't think so. As good as he is, he doesn't change the franchise. You need somebody that's going to turn the franchise around and be the franchise guy. And that has to be the quarterback. Now, again, if Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders are not that good at that position, then no, you don't. You don't draft that. You maybe even trade back and get more picks. All of this was on the table for my brother if he was the general manager for the Titans, as a Titan fan. Then I told him to watch more film, look at a little bit more tape, and you may see Steve McNair just a little bit, and he kind of agreed. And he was a lot more impressed than he thought he would be. Let's fast forward a few months down the road. The Titans selected Cam Ward as their #1 overall pick. Some people thought Shadur Sanders was not #1 or 2, and he ended up sliding out of the first couple of damn rounds. So what do you think of Cam Ward, though? He is going to start at quarterback. Will Levis is the backup, or whatever you want to call it. And that's only because nobody wants to trade for old Mayo, Mr. Mayo. Brian Callahan is going in his 2nd year as a head coach. He's only getting that 2nd year because it didn't seem right to fire his ass when he just got there. But they fired Rand Carthon, the general manager. They got somebody else kind of taking over. The Titans had a decent draft. They got their quarterback. I've seen great film. I've heard great things. They're even doing a documentary on the young guy, on his road to the NFL draft. His transfer to Miami, he was pretty damn good. Some people say he was protected with the line. It was very good. He had way more time than he'll ever get on a professional level. He had this. He had weapons. He had that. I don't know. I saw somebody that could ball. And for whatever reason, call me crazy, it just seems like they finally may have their franchise quarterback. You know? After all of the hit and misses with Will Levis and Marcus Mariota, Jake Locker, it's been bad. They've been terrible at doing this, but they tried. They tried. Even if they had to pick Jameis Winston over Marcus Mariota, still doesn't look like they would have been too much better. But I think that Tony Pollard in the backfield, whoever else they added in the offseason, Calvin Ridley's coming back, who had a pretty good year, even with Will Levis at quarterback. I think that this team could be all right. They've got healthy again in the secondary. They spent a little money in free agency the previous year. And I think the Titans are not going to be at the bottom. I just don't see them being the number 1 or a top 3 pick next season, in the next draft, I mean. I think that he can elevate them to probably 7-8 wins. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually was fighting for a wild card. I say that because I have no faith in Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. I don't know why that brother's getting over $50 million per. He hasn't shown it. I don't care if it's the coach. I don't care if it's the team around him. You've had plenty of time. Trevor Lawrence has been around for about 6 years now. Am I right? At some point, when are we going to start putting his ass under the fire? Okay? At some point. We still debate if Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in this league today. Which is crazy. He's a Super Bowl MVP now. Even I have jumped off that train, and I just gave him his props. But if we can still question things like that, why are we not questioning Trevor Lawrence? Why are we not questioning Anthony Richardson and Shane Steichen with the Colts? I don't trust neither one of them. Travis Hunter will be a good player. How good he will be will determine if the Jaguars can actually leapfrog somebody else in the South. But I think the Texans still will take the South. I know this is too early to make predictions. I will come back to all of these divisions when we get closer to the NFL training camp, once we get closer to the preseason games. But it's hard for me to see the Jaguars really elevating any more than they have in the past. I can't tell you who their receivers are, except for that tight end that they got. I can't think of his name. But I'm going to say the Colts probably are going to be at the bottom because Daniel Jones may be their starting quarterback. Could he be better than Anthony Richardson? Maybe, but will he be 9, 10 wins better? No. I think the Colts will probably be at the bottom. Shane Steichen gets fired. I think the Jaguars will probably be at number 3. And I'm going to put the Titans and bump them up from the bottom to damn near the top at number 2. And I say that because I think they finally have a franchise quarterback. I think Bryce Callahan's play calling, coming over from the Cincinnati Bengals, with Zach Taylor and all of those guys. He used to call plays for that team that beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Joe Burrow and those guys. I don't think he's that bad. And I think if he's got a competent quarterback and they continue to run the ball well, if they can protect him, keep him upright, if the defense improves, Ladarius Sneed and those guys can stay healthy and give the Titans their money worth in free agency, which they really didn't do last year. I saw that defense play good the first quarter of the year, and Mr. Mayo, Will Levis, was just giving games away hand and left. Just, you want to win? All right, here you go. You can win. Jets, we really beat y'all too, but y'all want to win? You need it. Go ahead. Don't nobody think nothing of us anyway. Take this win. He was just giving wins out, just dishing them out. A pick here, a pick 6 there. Everywhere a pick. I think the Titans will finish number 2. Now, will that be 6 wins or 9 wins? That I don't know. But I think the Colts probably don't win any more than 4. I think the Jaguars don't win any more than 6. And I think the Titans probably win 8 games. I can see that. And their strength of scheduling is pretty weak too. I mean, they're playing everybody at the bottom of the divisions. So that 8 could elevate depending on how special Cam Ward is. That 8 could elevate to about 9 or 10. I know I'm sounding crazy right now, but remember, you heard it here first. I've said crazier things on this show and turned out to be right. So just wanted to say that. Give me the Titans at 2. Give me the Texans at number 1. Who's gonna take the Titans? Who's gonna knock the Texans off their high chair right now? I don't think anybody can do it right now. A lot of people tell me the Texans got the best defense in the AFC, and they do need to make. I think they do need to get over that wild card hump. They make the wild card 2 years in a row under DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud. They've had a perfect marriage together. However, they seem to stall when they get to the divisional round. Last year, they beat Justin Herbert and the Chargers in the wild card at home. Justin Herbert should have won that game. Everybody tells me Justin Herbert is a top 10, top 7 quarterback in the league. Why does he have no playoff wins? I can't wait to get to the AFC South next week. I mean the AFC West. Can't wait. I got so much negativity for Justin Herbert because he gets paid a lot of money just like Trevor Lawrence, and he doesn't have a playoff win. And the only playoff win Trevor Lawrence has is against the winless playoff guy, Justin Herbert. So we'll get to them next week. But back to the AFC South, I'm going to end it with this. I think the Texans still are going to be number 1. I don't see anybody really topping them right now. And I think DeMeco Ryan, if he can just protect his quarterback a little better with the O-line, and if that defense is as stout as people say it is, and if those receivers can stay healthy. Nico Collins was hurt the other year, got hurt a little bit in 24. Diggs got hurt early and was out the rest of 2024. They just can't seem to keep the receivers healthy. And C.J. Stroud still finds a way. So let's put some respect on C.J. Stroud's name, and let's move him from number 11 or number 10 or wherever y'all got him at, and let's bump him up to like number 6 or 7. Because he's doing pretty good, and y'all can't name their starting wide receivers. You really can't. Texans 1, Titans 2. Jags 3, Colts at the bottom. That's my AFC South early predictions. Who was in here trying to join me right now? Iceman Slim? What is Iceman Slim? What do you want to talk about, man? Oh, well, I thought he was trying to get in here. Justin Sherbert. Yeah, I like that. What's up with Justin Sherbert, man? Why can't he win enough? Why can't he win a playoff game? Iceman Slim said, I'll say 8. 8 wins for the Titans? That's pretty good. And I'm trying to be realistic, so I'll stop at 8, but I won't be surprised if they did better. Jerry Rice is still my number 1 of all time, my man. Good comment there, big time TNT. I like that. Well, my New York Giants won the NFC at 2008 and 2012. Yeah, that's true. So, Ryan, what does that have to do with 2025? I thought you were going to hit me with some type of conspiracy or something on why they're going to win in 25. But I'm all ears or all eyes. I'm watching. Go Birds, says James Sproles in the building. He said he is trying to get in. Okay. Try that again, man, and I'm going to let you in. I'm about to do NFC South. I had a lot of people talking about the Carolina Panthers, saying that they're going to be good, they're going to be better. Watch out. Where are you at? Whoever that was. The past few weeks, somebody has jumped in here talking about the Carolina Panthers. Can I please get you in here? Well, the real Carolina Panther fans, please stand up. Because I just got to hear what you got to say. Now, again, Bryce Young. He didn't look like the same Bryce Young last year, y'all. The last quarter of the season. Was anybody watching the Panthers in the month of December? Hell, actually around Thanksgiving is when it started. He had got benched, and then he got his job back. I don't know if Andy Dalton or whoever that was that took over got hurt or what. But anyway, he got back into the starting lineup, and he actually looked like a competent quarterback. He looked like he really could be a starter in this league. I saw accuracy. The deep ball accuracy was there. The timing and everything was there. Getting rid of the ball, the clock in the head, everything was working good. I was impressed. If their defense can get better, let's see what Ice Slim wants to talk about, man. He wants to join the live show. Let's see what he has to say. Welcome to the Great Debate Show, Ice Man. And he's been here plenty of times. He just hadn't, came in here and talked with me as a guest. But I got him in here now. Ice Man Slim, how you doing, man?
What's good, man? What's good?
You got it, brother. How you feeling today? And what you want to talk about?
Man, I just want to piggyback, what you said about the NFC South and the AFC South. To be honest with you, man, like I said, I do have the Bucks winning the NFC South. I just don't see New Orleans. Uh, yeah, I just don't see New Orleans probably winning that division. I also don't see Carolina. I see Carolina maybe winning 5 games at the most.
Mm.
And then, like I said, I can see Atlanta giving maybe Tampa Bay a run for their money at this point. You know, if Penix, develop his second year, I could probably see the Falcons winning that division as well. And then for the AFC South, I don't see the Colts doing anything.
Me either.
Who else in that division? Yeah, I'd say the Titans. Titans will win 8 games. If Ward is the starter for week 1, I can see them winning 8, maybe 9 games. Who else in that South?
So you are kind of high on Cam Ward?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Yeah, like you said, Trevor Lawrence. I don't see why they paying him that much money anyway. He can't win a. Well, now he won a playoff game, like you said, against Justin Sherbert, as I like to call him.
Justin Sherbert, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and then like I said, I already got the Texans winning that division. To be honest, I kind of got them winning the AFC. The whole AFC, really. I could see them in the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we're waiting on the Texans to, just get over that divisional round hump. For 2 years in a row, they went to the wild card and won it, and then they fall both years in the divisional round. Now, again, they're playing tougher competition, but they need to find a way to be able to beat a Buffalo Bills team or a Baltimore Raven team in that round. A lot of people tell me, though, that their defense is probably the best in the AFC. I can't remember what they did in the offseason to agree with that. But, yeah, I like the Texans' chances to probably get to the AFC Championship. I don't know about winning the AFC Championship, but, yeah, I think it's up for the Texans. But who wins the South? Why do the Buccaneers win the South, though? I mean, I know they've been doing it for a while. But why do you think they're able to hold off an up-and-coming Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons?
That's a good question, man. I mean, in my opinion, they just a complete team overall. You mean, to be honest, man, they got everybody coming back from last year. I know they lost a few pieces here and there, but like I said, in my opinion, they're the most complete team out of that division. Like I said, New Orleans is rebuilding. Since Derek Carr's retired, I believe. Bryce Young. I mean, I could see.
Yeah, Derek Carr did retire.
I gotta see what Bryce Young do this year. And then, like I said, Penix, I feel like he's going. To me, he's not gonna have a sophomore slump for his second year.
Well, I think the NFC South is going to. I appreciate you coming in here, Iceman Slim. Thank you for that. So, Iceman Slim is going with Tampa Bay to win the South again, and he still has the Texans winning the AFC South. But not only that, he thinks that they could, the Texans could actually win the AFC, and that's I wouldn't say it's bold, but it's something nobody else is really saying, because people can't stop glazing over Buffalo, Baltimore. Those are the Cincinnati. Those are the teams that people want to see beat Kansas City. And I feel Houston saying, hey, man, what about us? So I like that, man. Good take, Iceman. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna keep it pushing. But if that's all you got, man, I'm going to go and get out of here and finish this up, wrap this up. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We'll do it again. Okay, so, man, good take, man. Do y'all agree with Iceman Slim? He says that the Houston Texans may just win the AFC South, the AFC period. I want to thank Justin May, the rapper, who just subscribed to the Great Debate Show on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's what you need to do in order to find the Great Debate Show in the algorithm. A lot of times you won't see a live episode every day. I may just upload the video and if they don't get any views. And that's the reason why is because either you didn't subscribe or you subscribed without hitting the notification bell. You can always go back if you missed a live stream or if you didn't catch the upload video. It'll be there if you subscribe, like Justin May, the rapper, just did. Thank you for that. So I'm going to run through the NFC South too, but I think it's going to be a lot more competitive than the AFC South. The Titans is my surprise number 2 behind the Texans in the AFC South. And Iceman Slim agrees with me. He's high on Cam Ward, and he says they could win about 8 games too. That's a major improvement from what they did do. They picked number 1 in this year's draft. I want to say what's up to Justin May, the rapper. He said hi, and thank you again for the sub. Fantasy Football Girl Advice says, let's go Colts. All right, I like that. I like that. Let's go Colts. I just talked about them too. You probably won't like what I had to say about them, but I got quarterback questions. They've got quarterback issues. So that's why I kind of got them at the bottom. Sorry, Fantasy Football Girl. Also, Fantasy Football Girl says, laughing my butt off, tell him to have several seats. Colts got this. Okay, I got you. Well, do you see Reggie Wright over there saying, tighten up? That's one of your rivals right there. Justin May, the rapper, said Lions all day, every day. Hey, man, that was my Super Bowl pick last year. I had them going to the Super Bowl, and I wasn't ready to predict if they were going to beat the Ravens or not. But I think I kind of had Baltimore winning. I didn't get any of those right. The past few years, though, I have gotten the Super Bowl predictions right, whether it were both teams or at least one of the teams that competed in that game. If you can do that for me, please, I would really appreciate it. Thanks. What's that, Justin May? Yeah. Thank you for subbing, man. I appreciate it. Let me talk about the NFC South real quick. As I was talking about with Bryce Young, before I let my guest come in, Iceman Slim. Bryce Young looked good, y'all, in the month of December. We thought for a minute the Panthers ain't hitting on nothing. They need a quarterback still, and they made a big mistake drafting Bryce Young. He's too small. He holds the ball too long. The clock upstairs just isn't ticking. Everybody from Alabama ain't, you know what I'm saying, strawberries and cream. That's what we were thinking. That's what it looked like. But I saw something different after he was benched and then came back into the fold, and then he was a starter again. I seen great accuracy on the deep ball as well. I saw good timing. The ball was coming out quick. The clock upstairs was working quicker. He was avoiding sacks. He wasn't holding the ball as long. The ball was coming out, at the right time. And the receivers looked like they were okay. So maybe they weren't as trash. They just needed competent quarterback play. And I think that the Panthers and the Falcons, man, I'm so torn on who is going to be at number 2. Or if one of them can surpass Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay got Baker Mayfield. And I love Baker. I love the head coach, Todd Bowles. The coach and the general managers just got contract extensions. So it's all good in Tampa Bay. It's all up for them. Nothing but positive vibes. They brought Chris Godwin back. Mike Evans is still there. Bucky Irvin is playing good in the backfield. That was a surprise draft pick that people didn't see coming, but that worked out as we got on within the season. And the Buccaneers defense, I trust Todd Bowles. Regardless of who was in there, he's got somebody that can plug and play. Blitz, zone blitz. We're blitzing, no we're not, we're zone and psych. I mean, he's good. He's good. And he's a Super Bowl champion as a assistant coach when he was the DC. And Bruce Arians was the head coach. He's got to be doing something good. He's a black coach that's still there. So he deserves a lot of credit and flowers just for that alone. So it's hard for me to say that Tampa Bay won't win the South again. But I'm telling you, if there's a team that can really give them a run for their money, I think it's either Michael Penix Jr., if he continues to elevate the team, and the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if the Falcons got better on defense. They've got a defensive coach in Raheem Morris. I don't know who the Panthers head coach is, but I know the offense looks like it could be better, and the defense is already kind of on their way. The Saints are at the bottom. That's pretty easy. I don't see the Saints doing a damn thing, and that would have been the same if Derek Carr didn't retire. But I think the New Orleans Saints, with Kellen Moore, they've got some learning. It's going to be a learning tree. They've got some learning to do. They've got to gain experience, and it's going to take some time for them. So I could easily see the Saints probably being the worst in the league, possibly having that #1 pick, possibly drafting Arch Manning. And ain't that where his uncle played? Arch Manning? Wasn't he a Saint most of his career? I don't know. I just put that together. But that could very well happen. I've said a lot of things that sound crazy, and then it happens. Give me the Saints at the bottom of the NFC South. For some reason, man, I don't know. I don't know about Michael Penix. I mean, I think he's going to be good. I do. They still got Drake London, and I don't know, is Kyle Pitts still there, or did he leave? I'm not sure. Call me crazy, y'all. I'm going to say Atlanta's going to be 3. And I'm putting Carolina at 2. And I think that they could give the Buccaneers a run for their money. I don't know what all the Panthers did in the offseason, but they had a good draft. And again, I can't help but think about what I saw the last portion of the season. He looked like a totally different quarterback. And I need to see more of that. If he can follow through on that, man, sky's the limit for Carolina. And I know Michael Penix could have a sophomore slump, but I don't think that's necessary to say because he didn't even play a full rookie season. I think he's still a rookie until we get to October. And then we'll go from there. But he still went behind the ears, and Bryce Young has seen a lot more. He's went through a lot more bullshit, and I think that he's overcame it, and I think mentally he's prepared to actually put together a good string of games, get them some wins, and I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina wins 8 or 9 games. And I'm going to say Tampa Bay can win 11, and I'm going to say Carolina will be knocking at the door around 8 or 9. And that's how the South will go. Unfortunately, I still don't see 2 teams coming out of this division because when I look at the East, Philly and Washington is going to make it. When I look at the North, 3 teams are going to make it more than likely. And I think it'll probably still be the same 3. Detroit, Green Bay, and I don't know if it'll be Minnesota or Chicago, but it'll be 3 teams. I kind of think it'll still be Minnesota, though. That's 3 alone. Then I said 1 out the South, 1 out the East, and it would have to be 1 out of the West. Who would that be then? The Rams or the Niners? I'm not sure. But yeah, give me Tampa Bay still winning the South, and give me Carolina coming behind them in a close 2. Because I can see them winning 8 games easy. But depending on how much growth we see from Bryce Young, he could elevate that 8 to about 10. I can't wait to find out. We'll see. What's your thoughts on that? Brandon Tullock in the building says the Panthers will win the NFC South. He said, I promise. See what I'm saying? That's what I needed. Will the real Panther fans please stand up? They've been talking about the Panthers for weeks while I've been still trying to talk NBA Finals. Now I'm talking. I needed y'all to come to the table, and there is one. Brandon, could you just please tell me what did the Panthers do, and why do you think they'll win the NFC South? I just want to know, please. And thank you for sharing the live video. I just want you to give me more confirmation on why I think I'm saying they're going to be a close number 2. But maybe you can persuade me to say that they are going to win. This isn't my final prediction, y'all. This list is fluid. As Stephen A would say, it's fluid. And I'm saying that because it's July. It's Independence Day. I'm going to do this all over again, for real, when training camp starts, when the preseason games start kicking in. Gio in the building says, why do you like the Niners? Because they're the greatest team in the world. At least they were when I picked them in the late 80s. Thank you for the question. Brandon said the Panthers upgraded on the wide receiver side of the ball. #1 receiver in college was the pickup. Who was that #1 receiver, Brandon? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, and I'm sorry, but please, if you could tell me that too. You see, I told you what I saw last December. They look better. Now he's telling me that they upgraded at wide receiver. Justin May, the rapper, said the Detroit Lions, one pride, rest the roar. He also said to all of them and tell them what you think about them. If you can do that for me, please, I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Hold on, what to all of them and tell me what you think about them. Hold on, what do you mean? I'm lost on that one. I've been a obsessed Detroit Lions fan since '91. Wow, I respect that, man. Detroit Lions, NFC South #1. Yeah, I talked about the NFC North, yesterday, and they are going to be #1 still. Losing Ben Johnson hurts them a little bit, but not that much because they still got the talent. Jared Goff still has a good offensive line and Amari St. Brown and all of those guys. So, yeah, they're going to be good. Okay, Gio said, yes, sir. I bleed red and gold till I'm dead and cold. That's it. Now, that's a real fan right there. Bang, bang. That's exactly what we do. Red and gold till we dead and cold. Even though I think that we've been cursed and we'll never win again because of Eddie DeBartolo and his gambling. But we'll see. I sure hope I'm wrong. What's up to Sterling in the building? I'm waiting on Brandon to come back and tell me who that #1 pick was that they got out of the draft. And why does he think there's, he told me half of the reason why. They upgraded at wide receiver. Bryce Young does look like he can start in this league. So I can't wait to see how that goes. I really can't. I think that the Panthers are #2, and I think, of course, the Buccaneers are still 1. But it'll be closer than what people giving them credit for. And I'm not shading, not throwing shade at Michael Penix because I like him. But I don't see enough on the defensive side, and I think the Panthers actually have a more solid defense than the Falcons. I don't recall what the Falcons did that just really caught my attention to say, okay, watch out, Tampa. Here comes the Falcons. I ain't saw that yet. Arthur Blank, highly respected, great owner. But they're still trying to find their way back after that crushing 28-3 lead that they blew back in that Super Bowl against the GOAT, Tom Brady. Here comes Eagles curse. Madden curse, says Raymond. Well, we certainly got the curse with Christian McCaffrey last year on Madden, but I don't know. The previous years, it actually had been going all right. Until we got hit with that curse. It actually had we thought it had went away. For your sake, I hope that doesn't happen, Raymond. I hope it doesn't. How good are the Eagles this year, though? You know, they lost a few guys on the defensive side, but they still got a lot of talent on offense, especially Saquon Barkley, who I think the whole team just rolled his back straight to the Super Bowl. So can they repeat? We'll talk about all of that next week. I did AFC North and NFC North yesterday. Today I did AFC South and NFC South. And we'll come back in here next week and we'll work our way out west or out east. I think I'll go out east. Yeah, let's do NFC East and AFC East. Let's see where we go with that. A lot of people think the Cowboys are better than what people are saying. They're not going to be at the bottom, or they're not going to be the third best team. Hell, Ryan said that the Giants are going to win the NFC East. So let's focus on that come Monday. Sterling Slayton in the building says, I bet the Titans propel the AFC South title. Okay. Did you hear that, Reggie Wright? Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised. I like Cam Ward, and I think that Cam Ward could elevate them definitely to have more than 3 or 4 wins that they had last year. Definitely not to be in the top pick in the draft. I have them at #2 in the AFC South, but I don't have them beating or being better than the Texans. Not at the moment. But good comment, Sterling. Are you a Titan fan, or this is just your thoughts? Eddie D. Yeah, the greatest owner of all time. Thank you for the comment, Gio. And thank you for following. What's up to Ant? Ant likes sports. Sterling is a Titan. He said tighten up. I like it. I'm a Niner fan too, Bubba. All right, workaholic. That's good. Thank you. All right, I'm going to take one more before I sign off and go pay them bills that y'all know I have to pay. Let's see what Ant Like Sports has to say. Ant, what's up, man? You live, man. How you feeling today? What you want to talk about?
Hey, I think the Commanders going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, damn. He just came in hot.
Look, they dog in the NFC East. Philly can't repeat. Ain't nobody NFC East in 20 years, so they can't go back. We taking it. Matter of fact, BTA, belt to ass.
The belt to ass. Okay.
To ass.
Okay.
This is my hot take before I go.
I appreciate that, brother. Are you in the DMV?
NFC East.
Are you in the DMV?
Yes, sir. And I can see FedEx Field from my house, and I can see Northwest. Oh, wow, that's the same thing.
Wow.
RFK and Northwest Stadium.
RFK. Damn, man. Taking me back, man. Monumental, man. I grew up as a kid loving RFK Stadium, and I don't know why. Joe Montana would go play in there, and I'd be like, yeah.
Because that motherfucker was rocking.
It was, bruh. It was, man. Yeah. Hey, man, look, I love your quarterback, and if you follow the Great Debate Show, man, you can go back and check out these old episodes, brother. I told everybody, watch out for this Jayden Daniels dude. He's going to be the best quarterback out of the draft, not Jalen Williams. And, I mean, not Caleb Williams. And now look at what's happening.
Yes, sir.
First year NFC Championship game, and y'all heard it here first. Ant Like Sports is on here saying that the Commanders are going to put belts to asses, and they running through the NFC, and they'll be in the Super Bowl. It ain't a bold prediction, to be honest with you, bro, because, hell, y'all were this close last year. So, yeah, man, shout out to the Commanders. They got Adam Peters as the general manager. He used to be with the 49ers. He's responsible for drafting Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, and all those cats. Y'all got Debo from us. Y'all, it's up. It is up, man, and I like y'all. So I like the comment, and I don't even think that's a debate.
Appreciate that. I sent you a follow, too.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for joining me, man. Enjoy your day. Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up. Good shit there, man. Do y'all agree with Ant Like Sports? He just said, man, look, out here in the DMV, it's going to be the Washington Commanders in the Super Bowl. I like that. We're going to talk NFC East and AFC East on Monday. We'll get to it. And he's right, though. Nobody has won the division consecutive years in 20 years. And with the Eagles losing a few people, it's hard to think that they're going to do it, too, that they're going to be any different. I will say this. While we think the Cowboys are going to finish 3, they may actually be better than that. I don't know. Pickens and Lamb, what if they both do put up 1,000 receiving yards apiece? That just sounds like there's going to be some wins in there. Could they lose and still put up big numbers? Yeah, they could. But, you know, Trey Diggs is back in the secondary. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about the East on Monday, AFC and NFC. But Ant Like Sports just said on TikTok, he came in and said, man, he got in and he got out real quick. The Commanders are going to the Super Bowl. And that's that on there. I wouldn't mind seeing a DMV Super Bowl. Jayden Daniels versus Lamar Jackson. Washington Commanders, Baltimore Ravens. Super Bowl 60. That would be good. That would be good because, in my opinion, Jayden Daniels is a young, poor man's version of Lamar Jackson. He might not be quite as dynamic and fast, but he can move. And he's a dual threat. And he's smart. He may already be ahead of Lamar when it comes to the thinking clock and everything upstairs and his accuracy throwing the ball down the field. It took Lamar a little while, and they needed to get him some talent too. But Jayden Daniels, man, if they get Terry McLaurin signed, and that's what I didn't get to talk to Ant Like Sports about, they got an issue with the receiver. Now, they can't go to the Super Bowl without Terry McLaurin. And I wouldn't mind if they traded him to us, and y'all can have Brandon Ayuk. I know you probably don't want that, especially with a busted up ACL right now. But, man, he loves Jayden Daniels, Brandon Ayuk, and he that's where he wanted to go. It would be great to see him go back there and for us to get Terry McLaurin. But look, if y'all can keep him signed, if y'all can get him signed, yeah, sky's the limit for the Washington Commanders. I don't really see a sophomore slump because Cliff Kingsbury stayed as their offensive coordinator. So we'll talk NFC and AFC East on Monday. But that's all I got for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's it. That's it for me. Again, does anybody want to ask the question I asked with the basketball? It's Independence Day. Who wants more freedom? LeBron or Giannis? Who wants to get away and get that independence more? Giannis ain't going to tell us nothing until August or September. But LeBron, his agent Rich Paul has already told us plenty. So let's see let's see if that. I know everybody thinks LeBron isn't going anywhere. Hell, I've said he ain't going anywhere too. However, you can't tell me he don't want to go back to Cleveland or to New York. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers have came out and they made a statement yesterday, and they said that they're not all that interested in LeBron James. And I don't blame them. That's exactly what I said they should say. But what would the Knicks say? You don't think the Lakers would be interested in getting Karl Anthony Towns and put him in the front court with DeAndre Ayton? Man, it's not that bad. Luka knows how to make all of that stuff work. They don't need 2 stars in the backcourt. They've got their future in Luka. So they can afford to lose LeBron. They're going to do it anyway in another year. Uzi playing with me right now. He said, breaking news, LeBron to Dallas. Well, unless it's a buyout, it ain't going to happen, though. But I would like to see it, though. Uzi also said, I want LeBron to Phoenix. Now, why would Phoenix do that? And what would Phoenix give up to get him? Phoenix just needs to blow that shit up, man. I'm sorry, y'all. When I hear Phoenix, I just kind of frown up in the face because I know they're one of the teams like Milwaukee that should just rebuild and break it all the way down to the studs. But my mom always told me hard head makes a soft ass, and I guess their ass ain't soft enough yet. But it will be. Okay, as of right now, as I said, the Houston Rockets won their offseason in the NBA so far. However, and I've got like Denver right behind them, and of course y'all know I love Dallas. OKC is going to be probably back in the finals, but these are the teams that's going to give them a go. The Rockets, the Mavs, the Nuggets, and now the Lakers, now that they have Ayton and they brought back Jackson Hayes. So they've got their starting big, they've got their backup big. And maybe LeBron's looking around now saying, you know what, staying another year ain't so bad after all. But Mike Brown is a Knick. And some people think that the Knicks are now the favorites to win the Eastern Conference and go to the NBA Finals with the hire. And they hadn't even done anything with the roster, really. I don't know. Some people think highly of Mike Brown. Some people think he was the best remaining option available. And some people think that it's about the same. They could have kept Thibs for that. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Thank you, Eli Bowling, for joining me. Thank you, Uzi, and all of y'all for joining me. Uzi Wild 999. I appreciate it. Thank you again, Justin May the Rapper on YouTube, for subscribing and hitting the like button. I hope to get more subscribers on YouTube and more followers on TikTok. Again, weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific is when I'm here live streaming. If I don't do a live stream, the video will still upload at that same time. But you have to subscribe in order to catch that video or hit that notification bell. And it doesn't matter if you're busy, working, doing whatever, you can still go back to that video. A lot of people tell me that they can't find it or they missed it. You didn't subscribe. That's all it is to it. A lot of people like to just sit and watch and do nothing. But if you want to see me again, you gotta click on something. All right, that's all I got. I hope everybody enjoys their day, whether you're celebrating Independence Day, popping fireworks, barbecuing, kicking it with friends and family, or whatever. Your uncle may pull up, you just never know, and get a plate or two. So have that ready for me, you know. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm done for the week. We'll be back Monday. Friday Night SmackDown is tonight. It's a tape show from when they were in wherever they were at on Monday night. They taped that, and I don't think it's going to be much going on tonight. They gave the guys the week off for today and everything, so I don't think it's going to be worth coming back tonight to do a SmackDown post show. So more than likely, I won't be back until Monday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and we're going to start with the NFC and AFC East. But today, I would say that LeBron is the one who wants a little bit more independence than Giannis. Right now, because he said more than Giannis has said at all. And we still got to wait on Giannis because he said it's going to be August or September before he does anything. Okay, that's all I got. And I got the Texans and the Buccaneers still winning their divisions in the South. I want to thank all of the Panther fans that came in, the Giant fans that came in, the Detroit Lion fans, Reggie Wright, Tighten Up, and all of those people that came and joined. Thank you so much for joining. Harry, thank you. Pitt, thank you as well. Thank you for following me, Pete. Uzi, thank y'all. Thank y'all for following me. I appreciate it. His name's not Pete. He said Pete. What about Pete? Pittsburgh? I talked about them yesterday. Go back and pull up the YouTube. If you follow the YouTube channel, the Great Debate Show channel, pull it up, and you'll see me talk AFC North, NFC North. The NFC North is the best division in football, and it will have 3 teams come out of that division again. We just don't know if it'll be the Lions, Packers, and Vikings again, or the Lions, Packers, and maybe Bears this time. Does anybody think the Vikings and Bears make the playoffs and the Packers don't? And if so, we got to talk about Jordan Love, because I think that would be some of the reason why you don't have a lot of faith in him. Thank you, Deshaun, for joining. All right, that's all for me, man. I'm going to get out of here. My time is up. I got to pay some bills. Until we yeet again, y'all be safe out there. Peace. And don't drink too much.